Hello everyone. I am Alexandra Malimai.
And my name is Dan Bennick.
We would like to welcome you to our monthly channeling broadcast, Friends of Joy and Clarity. Now let's get started with today's broadcast. First of all, we would like to thank you once again for joining us. This is a wonderful opportunity for us to meet with you each month, to share spiritual guidance, good friendship, and channeled messages from Saint-Germain and the other guides we work with.
During today's broadcast, we're going to have a lot of fun and hopefully learn something too. We're going to tell you a little bit about us, who we are, and how we came to do this channeling work.
We'll also let you, the viewers, get a glimpse of who you are and see the diversity of countries that you represent. Another thing we'll do today is share spiritual guidance with you. We care a lot about helping you ground your spiritual values in your everyday world. There will be a moment for some practical coaching and then a channeled message from Saint-Germain.
In the second half of the broadcast, you'll have an opportunity to have your questions answered by Saint-Germain. And speaking of this question and answer session, now is a good time for you to submit a brief question if you'd like to participate in this part of the program. Questions will be answered online as time permits.
We thought we'd take a few moments before today's channeling to tell you a little more about us. As I mentioned before, my name is Alexandra Malimai. I was born in Transylvania, Romania, where I currently live with Dan, who is also my husband. I'm an empath and conscious channeler of spirit guides, angelic beings, and certain ascended masters like Saint-Germain. When I was a child, I really enjoyed being outdoors in nature. I still love plants and animals, and I find that if I have daily contact with nature, I stay grounded and more aware of the guides who are with us. Besides channeling, I like to draw and paint very much, and I hope to channel and illustrate some stories very soon.
Hi again. I'm Dan Bennick, and yes, Alex is my wife. I'm originally from the United States, from the state of Texas. In college, I studied ecology and biology, and later I worked for about 20 years as a conservation biologist. I worked mostly in the United States and also in Mexico, where I lived for 9 years. Between the two of us, Alex and I speak 5 languages. Alex handles English, Romanian, German, and French, and I speak English and Spanish. We find that this really helps us communicate with our international clients and friends. And of course, we love to travel too, and that always comes in handy. I became interested in spirituality when I was an adolescent. The thing that inspired me most then was Edgar Cayce, the channeler. I discovered Edgar Cayce in the books that I found on my mother's bookshelf. And once I read them, I was hooked. Now here we are together, Alex and myself, doing what we really love the most, getting messages of love, inspiration, and encouragement out there to all of you. I'd like to take a moment now and talk with you a bit about being in charge of your spirituality. If you're like Alexandra and me, then you may have had more than one occasion in which you felt frustrated as you try to create a solid foundation for your spiritual life in your everyday world. You may have experienced your moments of inspiration from time to time, and they carried you along the way for a while. But then it all came crashing down again as you fell back into your old ways of thinking and doing things.
It may be that your partner, your job, your family, or your friends are challenging you, or that issues of self-esteem still trouble you. But regardless of the cause, you feel disheartened and discouraged and unable to draw upon your inner resources. You find yourself blocked, even as you're trying to bring the one thing that matters most to you, your spirituality, into practical expression in your life.
That's why we created Friends of Joy and Clarity. These channeling broadcasts, like the one you are attending today, are here to support you in taking charge of your life and embodying your spiritual values. We will broadcast Friends of Joy and Clarity on the second Saturday of every month, and we really encourage you to participate.
Each month, we will bring you a new channeling on the internet, like the one you will be hearing in just a moment. The topics presented by Saint-Germain and our other guides will always be timely and focused upon your needs.
Our channelings and questions and answers will give you practical tools for grounding your spirituality. What matters most to us is stabilizing your awakening consciousness and strengthening the love in your heart. Here's what Saint-Germain has to say about being in charge of your spiritual life.
Being in charge of your life is not so much about directing it toward an outcome that you desire. It's about how you feel with your life in each moment that you're living it. Do you feel helpless? Do you feel happy? This is entirely up to you. You have been living far too long in the shadow of your suffering, and you have believed far too long that this is your true story. I am challenging you now. I am calling upon you to take charge of your life.
We'll tell you more about participating in Friends of Joy and Clarity later on in the broadcast. Right now, it's time to get ready for today's channeling.